Hey, puppy.
A walk in the park is exhausting for Chris Whitmer. The 58-year-old married father of two
You ready?
has Parkinson's disease.
Outwardly, you probably notice the tremor the most. The shaking, the stiffness, or how somebody walks. Dawson, here.
Less visible are balance issues and slower movements.
The biggest thing I feel is the fatigue. It just makes you extremely tired.
Over the past dozen years, his symptoms have progressed. The disease is not fatal, but can leave a person completely debilitated.
I don't want to think about what I'm going to be like, 10 years from now and what it's going to feel like. I want to be around for my kids. Excuse me.
The cells from his skin are his biggest hope. The former tech industry businessman is preparing to undergo a brain cell transplant as part of a first-of-its-kind clinical trial.
I think it's going to be the first successful treatment of Parkinson's, because everything we've done to now with drugs and therapies and deep brain stimulation and everything that you have for Parkinson's just treats the symptoms.
If all goes well, his health will be restored within months.
This will be the first treatment, I think, that can actually reverse the symptoms.
Parkinson's kills brain cells that make a substance called dopamine. Dopamine allows nerve cells to communicate with muscles.
It's reasonable hope right now.
Stem cell scientist Jean Loring with Scripps Research Institute in La Jolla has found a way to replace the lost nerve cells. It starts with taking a small skin biopsy from a patient's arm. The skin cells are transformed into master cells called pluripotent stem cells. They can make any cell or tissue in the body, including neurons. They can also regenerate themselves.
The reason that pluripotent stem cells are so important is that unlike the stem cells that are living in your body right now, they're cells that can regenerate certain parts of your body, not very well. These cells can make every cell type in the body, including nerve cells.
Loring has mastered the procedure of turning pluripotent stem cells into dopamine neurons. Other researchers are trying a similar approach, but they're using embryonic stem cells or other cells that are not from the patient.
Once we show that this works in our small first group of patients, then we will negotiate with the FDA to expand it to a large number of patients, multiple sites.
Loring's experiment is more than 5 years in the making. It's been successfully tested in animals. Getting her research to a potential clinical trial has involved climbing mountains for fundraising, opening a new lab in Torrey Pines to reduce overhead costs, and starting a foundation to secure grants and donations.
There's just no doubt in my mind. It's genetically screened multiple times. It's the answer.
Jennifer Robb is president of the Summit for Stem Cell Foundation. It was created in 2011 to back the project with the collaboration of patients, researchers, and donors.
It's going to be super exciting to have an answer for the outcry of 7 to 10 million people worldwide. An answer for their cry for help.
And Robb's cry for help. The 60-year-old married mother of 5 with 2 grandchildren is also a Parkinson's patient, diagnosed 12 years ago. She's also a clinical trial participant.
You find yourself slowing down to the point of not being able to move at all.
But she's filled with hope that she'll soon be able to enjoy life's simple pleasures once again.
Playing with my grandkids and working in the yard. Sorry.
The project has drawn interest from other top research institutes in San Diego County because if it's successful, it could also potentially treat multiple sclerosis, Alzheimer's, and other neurological disorders that currently have no cure.
As a scientist who tends to root myself in skepticism and careful observation, I'd be lying if I didn't say I'm extremely hopeful, and I really want it to work.
Stephen Wilson is Executive Vice President of the La Jolla Institute of Allergy and Immunology. The biomedical research facility is focused on preventing disease through a better understanding of the immune system. Wilson's team is studying the immune response of Parkinson's. He recently reviewed Loring's research and visited her lab.
Great science loves great scientist neighbors. There are pieces that your work is going to explain, and then gaps that you're hoping that in parallel someone else can factor.
Wilson says this could move the needle of scientific discovery.
There are some great treatments. There's a lot of trials in all these different areas, but this is one of those big ones where it could just suddenly change it for the better.
Stay.
Chris Whitmer is hoping his walk in life will get easier. Because if it does, Others with Parkinson's could follow in his footsteps. Susan Murphy, KPBS News.